the money laundering is universal. That is the um, that is the economics is like financial therapy. You're just finding out reasons why. You're just kind of going into what are you trying to do, what are you trying to make, and how are you trying to do it. And I think you can with this. That was where it stemmed from not being like just a normal true crime story. It's like an ingenious way to tell the story of a crime organization from a different lens.
Hi, Dan. Hi,
Hi there.
is Castor or Castor?
Either one, either one.
Either one. Thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to talk to you both. And amazing uh, docu-series, like in this. Uh, I love it. I didn't know much about Los Zetas. So I was wondering when this process, when Scott, if it was Scott that reached you for you guys, or you guys are the ones that found him, you can start with you then.
I'm gonna start with Castor because his
Okay.
he's the seed.
Really,
Okay.
I'd finished another horse documentary that had nothing to do with this, and I never thought I'd make one horse documentary, let alone multiple. And I met Joe Tone. I read his book, Bones. I read Melissa's book, and Dan and I have been friends for a very long time. He had just finished a series called American Cartel, and it felt like a perfect opportunity for us to work together.
And like to gain the trust of Scott and all the other FBI, all the other people that are talking the documentary. How is that you guys did that? Like, because sometimes it's a tricky subject, you know what I mean? So then
Don't we look trustworthy to you? We I mean, I always say like the only thing that we can do is be honest about the story we want to tell. And I think I mean, initially when we reached out to the FBI, they didn't really want to talk to us just because they're in the business of law enforcement. They're not in the business of TV shows. Um, but we kept on reaching out. We sort of laid out our plan of what we wanted to do and why we were interested in the story. And then we got invited to Austin. We went to the Department of Justice in Austin, Texas, and we met with the IRS, we met with the FBI, we met with the DA. It was like a giant conference room with a lot of very stern faces and some wide-shouldered men and some very precise people. And we just laid out everything we wanted to do. We told them our stories, we told them what interested us, we told them what we planned to do, and I think their only response was, if you tell the story fully and justly, then we're all in. And that was the last meeting. I sweated through at least one shirt. But yeah, they were fully on board after that moment.
how long have you guys been working on this in this docu-series?
I mean, just rolling cameras. When we first had the idea, we went and filmed some stuff on our own dime. That was about till we finished was about 3 years, but Castor goes back even further. Um,
My first phone call to the FBI was probably 2017 or early 2018. Then we started filming in 2021. But for about 2 years there, the FBI was, we weren't going to make this documentary. The FBI was not going to. And I couldn't tell you what changed, but we're glad it did.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm very like impressed with the archival footage. A lot of like research. Well, how much and I bet you there is a lot of material. How did you guys decide which one you're gonna use it? How many hours you have of materials for
we,
that?
Pitbull song. It's really Pitbull that was a big conversation.
Yeah, once we knew what we were getting into, once everyone was on board, Castor and I sequestered ourselves away in a hotel room in Austin, and we just went through everything that we knew, everything that we had heard, the access that we had, and just carted it all out, just put it all out on the table. But and even then, when you're making it, there's still an abundance of stuff that you want to go into, intricacies, complexities. But I think we told the best story.
And I
Yeah.
think our use of archival in this one is uniquely important because the story is so outrageous and so impossible to believe. But being able to show the footage to supplement the words that you're hearing you can watch the impossible happen instead of just hearing it.
Yeah, it's incredible what they do, like those cartels and like I'm from Brazil, and they have all these big drug dealers there as well, and they do. I don't know. Right now, it's kind of it's crazy what they do to launder the money that they receive, and it cannot believe. Sometimes you cannot believe it. What's happening? It's incredible.
And that's part of our story is that the money laundering is universal. That is the economics is like financial therapy. You're just finding out reasons why. You're just kind of going into what are you trying to do, what are you trying to make, and how are you trying to do it. And I think you can with this. That was where it stemmed from, not being like just a normal true crime story. It's like an ingenious way to tell the story of a crime organization from a different lens. And that that you took that away and can apply that thought to something in Brazil. I think we may have achieved that goal.
And Dan always says that the violence is so over the top and so pervasive that it in many ways becomes a distraction. The story starts and ends with drugs and violence, and we lose sight of what's really at stake, and more dangerous maybe is even power and influence to kind of change the culture of a region or control. In Zeta's instance, you control the region, you control the behavior. It's not just shooting and drugs. The story shouldn't stop there.
Yeah. Did you guys ever felt like threatened in a way, like afraid of something? I don't know. You never know,
I think,
because
Scott says it best in the beginning of the documentary, the John Wayne quote, as courage is being scared to death of something but saddling up anyway. They're the folks that took the risk. They're the ones that were in danger. Whether it's the journalists like Ginger, or it's Scott, or it's Steve, or even the informant, that are the only armor that we can wear is to tell the truth, just to tell an honest and full story.
And for you guys, what was like the biggest challenge in this whole process?
Have you seen how big the story is?
I know.
It's getting it huge. We have the same process in our process that they did when they were bringing it to court. You have to convince 12 jurors that it was money laundering, and it was this money, and it was from this person, and they paid this person, and they did that. That's very difficult. It's very complex, and we have to do the same thing to our audience. You have to
but with music.
But with music, you have to be entertained. You have to be thrilled. You have to be educated. Like that, all of those things go into it, and that was by far the hardest thing. There's so much there.
Yeah, it's so much detail, so much, and I was impressed, like, with everything that they did. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And there was a moment that you guys, when this 4-part series came about, because before was just gonna be a length documentary, or you guys always have these in parts in mind?
I think we always saw that there needed to be parts. I mean, it was too big to tell. Obviously, you have to leave some things out, and you have to focus on other things when you're telling a long story. But we knew, and with the people at Apple TV Plus, like 4 parts kind of really came to the fore. No pun intended.
Amazing. I just want to thank you so much for your time, Castor, Dan, and a lot of success. And I hope everybody liked it. And I'm glad that you guys is going to be in Apple TV Plus. I love that. Thank you.
Obrigado.
De nada. Tchau, tchau. If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.